What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Thunderbyte29 here, and yep, today I am back with another video. But like I said in my previous video, in the comment section, I was going to make this video after I ranted on Overwatch, and some people are going to wonder, which of these two games would I rather play if I had to choose? So, we're going to discuss a little bit about both the games, and then I will decide at the very end. So let's begin, shall we? So let's start with Fortnite. Back on familiar territory again. A lot of you have already seen a lot of my rants, and I'm going to repeat some of these points I've made. Like, this was a once great game that was really enjoyable and very fun to play. This game has a really big toxic community today, where you have a bunch of people who spend hours on end hitting clips in creative mode, and the toxic players don't just go on creative, but they're in the main game itself. And you only have solos, duos, trios, and squads to play in Fortnite, but that's it. And don't forget, you also have Save the World. But it's kind of boring because sometimes you play the same mission over and over and over again with the same settings and different maps. Fortnite obsessively has crossovers and barely any good updates as of today. And Fortnite is a game where every single player takes it so seriously. And Fortnite was one of those dozens of video games that had bowed down to social pressure and got involved in the BLM fiasco. Fortnite also has a skill-based matchmaking system, and they also have bosses, AIs, and bots in their game, which makes getting a victory royale not really have any meaning. Like, you're not that proud of yourself for winning when it's not 100% player versus player. Fortnite also has some good limited time modes that they release every now and then. And the only majority of players who really enjoy the game are the players who started in late 2019 and 2020 and beyond. And one more thing to mention about Fortnite, they also have a gold system that you get for killing players, which you can't really use it for anything, basically. And it's very pointless to the season that we are currently in now, which is Chapter 2, Season 6. Here's everything we've been through so far with Fortnite. They have toxic sweat tryhards, a ton of bad updates, obsessively put in crossovers, a skill-based matchmaking system, and a useless gold system. But is Overwatch any better? We will find out right now. Now let's talk about Overwatch. This was another great game I always loved, and I sometimes still play to this day. This game also has a toxic community, but not as bad as Fortnite's. But they are mainly in competitive mode. But there's more than just that. You have quick play, you can make your own custom game, and you have arcade mode where you have multiple little game modes to choose from. So this game provides a lot of options and a lot of things to do other than just competitive. But the only bad thing about competitive is you're sometimes eventually going to have the asshole players who will purposely try to cost the game or troll and take the game very seriously as well. Since the very end of 2018, this game had barely any updates until 2020 when they actually changed some of their old limited time modes. Like in my last video, I talked about Lucio Ball, how they added the walls into the map. But not all of them have had updates. And this game can also have a lot of problems when it comes to hero abilities, hero damage, and hero buffs and nerfs. They can get really annoying when they decide to flip-flop one or the other, like they buff them and nerf them. And this game also has a lot of good limited time modes that come out every once a year. But half of them have not received any updates since 2018. And just like Fortnite, this game also has a skill-based matchmaking system. And just like Fortnite, This game also releases tons and tons of skins that you can get from either a loot box or buying it with currency, which you earn currency from loot boxes as well. This game has had barely any crossovers, and this is one of the only few games that did not get involved in BLM or got political in any way. This game also has AIs, but only in limited time modes and practice range, and not in the actual game itself. So the actual game is 100% player versus player. So in conclusion with Overwatch, this game also has toxic sweats, but barely any updates, and it has multiple different game modes. It has issues with buffs and nerfs, a broken competitive system. It also has a skill-based matchmaking system and a loot box system. And before I make a final decision, I am going to discuss both games a little bit more and discuss what both these games have in common. Both these games have toxic communities, both have skill-based matchmaking systems, great and fun limited time modes, barely any updates, and it also has a currency system, but that's kind of common in most games, don't get me wrong. And don't get me wrong on this, they both also release tons and tons of skins. And before I officially make a decision, I'm going to talk about the currency systems in both games. So as most of you know, Fortnite uses V-Bucks as their currency. And the only way you can earn V-Bucks without spending money is you have to spend a lot of time on Save the World. While in Overwatch, they just use currency. And you can only earn currency from loot boxes. So basically, everything that you can earn from Overwatch is from loot boxes. And you can get loot boxes without spending money. You can get it by either completing challenges or leveling up. And my decision is Overwatch. I know this might be controversial to some, but if I had to choose between either one of these games, it would definitely be Overwatch. There are a few big reasons why I picked Overwatch. Like I said, this game does have a toxic community, but it's not as bad as Fortnite's. And what I mean by that is, most of the time in competitive, you're going to have teammates that want to work together. And when you work together and achieve success, you actually feel proud of yourself for winning. Because winning actually has meaning in Overwatch. Because if you win the game, or you win all your placements, you get a good rank, which means more competitive points and more SR. And this game has multiple different options to actually have fun and to get away from extreme player toxicity. But in Fortnite, there is barely any. The only place in Fortnite you can actually find that's not really toxic is Save the World. But who just wants to spend hours on end killing zombies and doing the same objectives over and over and over again on different maps? This game does not obsessively use crossovers like Fortnite does. And this was the only game that I played in 2020 and 2021 that did not shove a political agenda down my throat, unlike Fortnite that focused on a BLM event rather than their cars update. And like I've said before, the main reason why we play video games is to have fun and to get our minds off that kind of stuff and get our minds off reality. Even though I do not like Overwatch as much as I used to, I have to give them that. They did what companies should do, and that is staying out of politics. This game is still fun to play every now and then, but one thing that they really need to do is just update their game a little bit, like update their limited time modes, like Junkenstein's Revenge, and change it up a little. So it's not the same like it has been for the last 5 years. But what do you guys think? What game would you prefer? Tell me in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for the overwhelming amount of love and support. You all are the best. as we now begin to close in on 2,140 subscribers. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video. And this is ThunderBuddy29, sign off.